Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Season 11 of Stick to Sports. Gentlemen, can you believe it? 11 seasons of this show. It's a blessing to be back. We got a loaded slate tonight of Olympics, NBA All-Star Weekend, and NFL offseason buzz coming up. And for all the people at home asking, where's our beloved Mike? Well, he's competing in the SUNYAC Swimming Championship this week, but rest assured, he'll be back with us next week. So, guys, I'm getting antsy. You want to kick us off?
Yes, sir, Alex.
Roll it! Well, I'm sure you're all aware, just in case you have been living under a rock, we are currently in the middle of a men's Olympic hockey tournament, and for the first time in 12 years, we finally have NHL players participating. And with the medal round officially kicking off tomorrow morning, let's recap how we got here. Connor, what can you tell me about the overtime thriller between the USA and Sweden?
Yeah, Sammy, first of all, we were treated to an absolute barn burner yesterday. Team USA jumped up to an early lead in the second period thanks to a goal by Dylan Larkin, but then with just over a minute left in the third period, Rangers center Mika Zibanejad only feels like playing when he's playing for his national team, ties up the game, and we have to go into a sudden death 3-on-3 overtime. And for a minute, it looked like this experiment of a roster for Team USA was failing. GM Bill Guerin specifically chose to leave off some American-born top goal scorers like Jason Robertson and Cole Caulfield. In fact, 7 of the top 13 highest goal-scoring Americans in the NHL this season were left off the roster. Instead, Guerin is copying the Herb Brooks Miracle on Ice style approach, boys. He's not necessarily looking for the right players. We're looking for the best players. We're looking for specialized veterans who are playing for specific roles, roles such as penalty killing, roles such as checking, and so far in this tournament, it has worked. Team USA is the only team in this tournament to not give up a power play goal. Their penalty kill has been perfect so far, and it is because of this roster construction.
It's because moving pieces, it's a chessboard, and it's being carefully constructed. USA squeaks one out in overtime. Quinn Hughes wins it in OT. Great job there.
Huge shout out to Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, huge shout out to Quinn Hughes. Also want to shout out Matthew Tkachuk. Has got 5 assists so far in the Olympics. Amazing focal point. And Team USA has some great momentum heading into the quarterfinals.
100%. I wanted to mention the USA outshot Sweden 6-0 in overtime. They when they realized that they had we had our game on the line. This is our livelihood. They kind of locked in, but I want to know what the coach said to them to make them light that fire under them, because it was awesome. It was just like shot, and finally a win. So.
Certainly, the skill level of Team USA played a major factor in that overtime period. And shout out to Quinn Hughes for making Czechia see ghosts. Now, it's not just him now, boys. Staying in North America, but taking a trip north, Canada was also in a nail-biting overtime thriller versus Czechia. Canada fell down 3-2 in the third, but a game-tying goal in the third period from Nick Suzuki would force OT. Canada wouldn't stop there, however, as just 1 minute into overtime, Money Mitch Marner buries one in between the pipes to send Canada to the medal round. Alex, what can you tell us about this resilient Team Canada performance?
What I can tell you, Connor, is this is a testament to just how deep this Canadian team is, despite, and we got to address the white penguin in the room, if you will, but Sidney Crosby's injury in the second period, I feel like it lit a fire for Canada's team, because as we were talking about, when you see a guy like Sidney Crosby, your captain, your role model, your idol for this Canadian team, go down so early, you get spooked, you get scared, you freeze a little bit, and you don't know where to go from that. But they were resilient, as you said. They have 7 centers on this team who are all starting caliber centers, and that was a testament. Suzuki's one of those centers who stepped up in those big moments. And Czechia showed some ways, exposed some holes in this Canadian team. Despite the loss, they held possession well in Canada's zone. They drew penalties, and they created a lot of odd skater rushes throughout this contest. And that shows that this Canadian team isn't unbeatable especially heading forward with Crosby going down.
Definitely. I wanted to hit on the Sidney Crosby bit. They were pummeling him the entire game. There were some shots where, physicality was the name of the game before I even get into that, where it was just some shots where they hit him against the wall and hit him 3 or 4 more times. I know there's no fighting in the Olympics, but this is pretty darn close. I do think that Czechia was playing like a junkyard dog, though. They played with nothing to lose. And a team like that against a team that's really good is scary. Yeah. And that's my honest thoughts. I think that that game could have gone either way the entire game.
It'll be interesting to see how Canada looks going into the quarterfinal and the status we get on Crosby. But staying in hockey, shifting back to the NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes just extended their goaltender Brandon Bussi to a 3-year, $5.7 million deal. Bussi was a waiver wire pickup earlier this season and had never played in the NHL before this season. So Connor, what can you tell me about this unknown 27-year-old?
Yeah, shout out Brandon. I mean, this is one of the best feel-good stories in the NHL going on right now. He was originally picked up in October off of waivers, as we mentioned. He was placed on waivers by Florida, and he was picked up to be the third-string depth goalie behind Frederik Andersen and Pyotr Kochkov. However, with Kochkov's season ending in December and Andersen no longer being as effective as Bussi, he's gotten the starting nod for the rest of the season. He's currently tied for third in the NHL with wins with 23 and second in the league in goals against average. He's 27 years old, and he did not play in the league before the season. So the fact of the matter is that he could play at this elite level is just remarkable. And this Carolina team is going to need him going down the stretch. They are first in the Metro with 78 points, and they are currently tied for first in the East, also with 78 points, with the Tampa Bay Lightning, who play in the Atlantic.
And what trust for a front office and a coaching staff from such a high-caliber contending team to give the keys, basically, to a 27-year-old without a lot of experience under his belt. Not only is it a great story, but I think this is a statement for the Hurricanes that they trust their guys and they are willing to go into battle with anybody that they see fit for this role. And signing him to a 3-year, $5.7 million deal might look like a steal in the future, depending on how the trajectory of his career continues.
Definitely. Well, the guy was an undrafted free agent. They picked him up on the waiver wire. I don't think he played a game before, or he played a couple games before the season, and he went out there and earned himself a 3-year, $5.7 million contract. If that's not great, I don't know what is, man. He went out there and he showed. I just want to say, you were saying the Hurricanes are a high caliber team. The fact that they have this undrafted player that they picked up on the waiver wire this year is, it shows great things about this kid. And what you said about it being a steal, I think it definitely will be a steal.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out over the future.
We're gonna take a quick break here on Stick2Sports, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're talking hoops, and Alex has a new segment to reveal.
Welcome back to the DK experience. Go back to your job.
Every NFL fan has played for the last 15 games. They beat.
Writing a letter to the NFL fans? Get out of here with that.
Let me finish. No,
let me finish.
Stop.
Johnny Manziel, that guy, he's a loser.
No, that's.
Oh.
Watch the DK experience.
Is there anything interesting happening in here? Joe, is there anything interesting happening in here?
Yes, there is some interesting stuff tonight. We're doing our weather outside.
Oh, okay.
Our
I don't
quick
care.
weather.
Never mind.
That's the outside you
And welcome back to Stick to Sports. With tonight marking the second half of the NBA, let's take it back a week ago and look at the NBA All-Star break. The 2026 NBA All-Star Weekend took place last weekend in Los Angeles and sparked some mixed reviews among consumers. A new format was instigated this year, with 3 teams being grouped into 2 USA teams and 1 World team. Commissioner Adam Silver believed this would give the stars more incentive to legitimately compete for their countries. Some fans loved the new format, and naturally, some fans disliked it. Alex, do you think this year's All-Star Weekend was a success, or did Adam Silver cook up yet another stinker?
I think ultimately it was a success, Connor. I mean, this was the most watched NBA All-Star game since 2011 with 8.8 million concurrent viewers. Adam Silver, while he catches a lot of flack for a lot of structural integrity that he has with this league, I think this formula is a good starting point for improving the league. I still think they can experiment with maybe some 1v1 tournaments or some 2v2 tournaments to, give the fans what they want. You want to watch Ant versus SGA. But I think Wembanyama also deserves a lot of credit for this All-Star break on the player scale because he took it so seriously. It was his first time representing his country in the All-Star game, and it was apparent, straight out of the gate, that first game, after Scotty Barnes hit a game winner, Ant said to a sideline reporter, he said, "Shout out Wemby." He was like, "I wouldn't have taken this game that seriously if it wasn't for him setting the tone." I think that's commendable, especially for one of your future faces of the league. And I think this structure, we'll get into dunk contest, 3-point contest. Some things might need some reshaping, but for the All-Star game format, I thought it was overall successful.
Yeah, I agree. I do want to hit on the dunk contest, though. The dunk contest, it wasn't as bad as it was in other years, but they keep trying to reciprocate the Levine-Gordon showdown from 2016. They keep trying to bring, it's primetime, it's going to be awesome. Stop putting it in primetime. No one wants to see it, man. Nobody wants to see the dunk contest in primetime. Jackson Hayes, dude. Jackson Hayes.
Normal dunk.
My only, I loved watching. I'm not really a big basketball guy. I watched every single thing this weekend. My only criticism was they had it during primetime, and that's why it stinks.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, when your dunk contest is headlined by D1 nepotism hire Jace Richardson, there's not that much you could do.
He pointed at himself online and he said, "Me? I'm in the dunk contest?" Also, shout out Dame for winning the 3-point contest, his third one on a torn Achilles.
Without playing a single second this season.
Beautiful work. And during the All-Star weekend, social media leaks on X revealed a current NBA player talking trash about numerous other players. These players included Devin Booker, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., and Klay Thompson. And based on teammate history and Twitter usage, these leaks were traced back to future Hall of Famer Kevin Durant. And with Durant having an extensive digital footprint, many fans immediately deciphered that KD was the culprit behind the screen. Durant denies that the passive-aggressive messages were his doing, but the public disagrees. Sammy, two-parter. Do you think that this was Kevin Durant's doing? And if so, how is this going to affect the Rockets' second half of the season?
Part 1, yes, 100%. Part 2, I think that genuinely, I think that it won't affect it as much as people want it to. I think that, the things that he said happened. I think that the relationships that he built, personally, are ruined. I think that all the good stuff he had, he's saying all these terrible things, but I think maybe I hope some sort of penalty or something would come to him for all everything that he said, but I don't think it would going to affect the Rockets that much. I think that they'll be I'm sorry for what our players said, but we're here to play basketball.
Yeah, that's fun.
I'm going to have to disagree with you here, Sammy. I think the Rockets' hopes of even competing in the West is just gone after this. Kevin Durant has had one of the most unique career paths, so the fact that he has the gall to sit up there in practice and answer interviews saying that, there was no actual proof that this was my account, and I don't want to talk about this. I understand you have to talk about this. I just want to talk about the scrimmage that we just had. You don't want to talk about the scrimmage that we just had. You want to talk about how you think that Ben Simmons is crazy, but at least he would pass you the ball. Yeah. I'm sorry, Kevin. No one has played for the amount of stars that you've played with and the amount of teams that you've played with in that successive career span. It's you. We know it's you, Kevin. You tweeted out all the way back in 2019 that you had a burner, and now 7 years later, NBA Twinner finally found it.
It seems like KD hit the fans button on 2K instead of Team Chem, and now the Team Chem's in it all.
100%. Staying on topic in the NBA, the trade deadline has come and gone, and a lot of teams have some new faces on the roster. All-star caliber players got shipped to smaller franchises. Role players got moved to contenders, and a couple of teams got a boatload of draft capital over the next 5 years. Time will tell how these trades will age, but let's make it fun and go through who we think the winners and losers are. Connor, we'll start with you. Who made out on top of the deadline and who sunk below the rest?
I'll give you the team that I like the most here, Sammy. I like the Cavs, all right? A little bit of a sleeper team. They started off slow this year, going 22-19. Then they started to rattle off some wins. A 9-2 stretch was mixed in there. Now, they did give up 26-year-old Darius Garland for 36-year-old James Harden. For the fans at home, those ages don't add up. That doesn't make sense. But when you take a look at Cleveland's contending situation, their star player right now, Donovan Mitchell, he's experiencing the highest usage rate he has had since he was in Utah. And on top of that, rumors are coming out. Donovan doesn't want to resign here when his deal is up at the end of the next offseason. He was traded here, remember. He didn't really want to come here. And on top of that, so Cleveland is looking at themselves in the mirror, and they're like, all right, we've got a year and a half.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's now or never for our window. I like that move. I like that pick. I'm going to go with a little bit of a different direction, and I'm going to say the winner of the trade deadline was the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the window between Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson was coming to a narrow close. Everybody could see that. They won one playoff series in their time together, and that was it. Last year, they shipped away Desmond Bane to the Magic, but they got 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane, somebody who's never played in an All-Star game, by the way.
He was born in the darkness, though.
He was born in the darkness. But they switched some of those picks for Cedric Coward, a standout rookie, and then they flipped Jaren Jackson Jr. at the deadline to the Utah Jazz and got another 3 first-round picks, and they got Walter Clayton Jr., fame last year, Florida guard, who has some upside. And they have a lot of promising young players. They're probably going to ship away Ja and get more draft capital. And over the next 5 years, they're playing with like 9 first-round picks and some second-round picks. They could be going in the direction of what the Thunder did that led them to be so successful.
100%. I agree. I'm doing a favor for all the New York fans out there. I love the Knicks and Alvarado, baby. Grand Theft Alvarado. Love seeing him in New York, and I'm glad that we have someone to replace McBride while he's injured.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, boys, before we head to break, I hear that we might have a new segment this semester. Alex, can you tell me a little bit about this?
I absolutely can, Connor. We got AJK's Lay of the Day. Every show I will be putting out a play for you to tail at your own expense. Remember to tail responsibly. But let's throw up that bet today, and I will go through what I like about for each leg. So tonight in the early slate in 7 o'clock, we have James Harden under 2.5 threes and Cavaliers money line. They go up against the Nets. They're fully healthy. I don't expect them to lose this game, first of all. And Harden is now going to play his first game with Evan Mobley. I expect him to look to dish to the big man Jared Allen and Evan Mobley and let some other guys get some looks and not have him chucking threes. Moving on to the next leg, I got Victor Wembanyama under 23.5. The reason for this, he's going up against the Suns. In 3 matchups with the Suns this season, he has scored 13 points, 11 points, and 9 points. This is because Mark Williams will be on him, Dylan Brooks will be in help coverage, and Oso Ighodaro is also a good 7-foot help defender. Wemby goes under. I expect him to dish to his teammates some more. Moving on to the last leg, we got Kawhi Leonard to record 4 assists. He's playing against the Nuggets. I expect the Nuggets to double team him. No Harden on the Clippers anymore. I expect him to dish, and I expect Peyton Watson to be in heavy pursuit on double teams, so I think the Claw is going to spread the ball. But that's AJK's Lay of the Day, plus 450, and if it tails, we will track, and we will make sure wins or losses tail responsibly.
So on the under on Wembanyama?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you got it.
All right, thank you for the play of the day, Alex. We'll check on that next week. Coming up after the break, we'll look into some early NFL offseason moves and a potential MLB lockout on the horizon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I saw bread, and I want some bread.
I feel like the amount of work that we get here is very different than a community college. So at my last school, we had at least an essay a week that was due for any given class.
Yeah. Also make you really appealing because you start in the fall, where it's kind of like more, still good sport.
If it's hockey,
It's what they score!
it's on Hockey Talk. Join Rob Finger and his panel of guests.
Their behavior against easy teams. How do you lose to the Bruins twice?
As they take you through the hockey world.
We welcome you with open arms.
Tune into Hockey Talk, Mondays at 9:30 after East Coast hockey games. Only on WTOP.
Oh boy!
Good evening and welcome to Jeopardy. I am your host, Joe.
Hello, Simon.
Joe is at this place. And I'm very concerned to see what Piper's answer is here. Sorry, it's a 98-page rule book.
You guys are stumped still?
Joe, I'm going to sound like a little snob here. It was not founded by Ray Kroc.
Welcome back into Stick to Sports. It's that time of the year again, fellas. The NFL has just ended, and the rumor mill has begun. Star pass rusher Max Crosby ended his season on IR and was upset about how Vegas's front office handled it. Then, during Pro Bowl week, a report came out saying that he was 100% done with Vegas, Sammy being the only Raider fan in a 50-mile radius. How do you feel about Crosby potentially leaving your squad?
Oh, I have a lot of words I could
Peachy
say about.
keen.
Yeah, great. No, I feel awful. I feel that we have wasted his career. I'm honestly, I would almost feel happier if he left, only because that guy deserves to win more than anyone else in that league. That guy has been with the Raiders with 5 different head coaches. About to be his 5th head coach. 5 different regime changes, and he's been just played football and won games. But he's won his position. That's why Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt. The Raiders stink, but Max Crosby makes his impression. I think that he's probably going to go to Chicago Bears for 2 first-round picks and DeAndre Swift.
That would be nice. Yeah.
And I think that the Raiders are going to take 10 years and not win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think that this Clint Kubiak is all smoke and mirrors. And I'm upset about Crosby leaving.
Yeah,
it's
fair, buddy. I got you.
He's the only player I've ever watched, dude.
I got you. That's fair.
On my team.
Don't worry, Sammy. The Mendoza line is on his way.
Mendoza line is on the way.
I know, right?
Continue.
Connor, I was gonna ask Connor how he felt about how he.
He's got.
He's
got no horse in this race.
He's got no horse in this race. Well, honestly, yeah, I said what I needed to say. I think that he should go out and win games. I think that he shouldn't feel bad about leaving Vegas because he's done his time. He has put in the time. He's done the work, put in the hours. Now it's time to take what's his.
I hope he goes to a contender.
Me too. Finally, as we wrap up the fast break, I've got one more story for you guys. A report came out a few days ago from the Athletic stating the MLB during the next collective bargaining agreement intends to try and force the remaining 7 teams who own their regional sports network to sell their coverage back to the MLB. Connor, what does this mean potentially mean for a 2027 baseball season?
Yeah, it's not good news, Sammy, for the 2027 season. We're honestly looking at a lockout. So MLB right now, the national TV deals are up in 2028. National TV, because every team is involved, that money gets split by 30 teams. MLB, unfortunately, is a very regional sport. So there's only 10 teams really with profitable regional sports networks, and some of them are actually going out of business. Recently, Seattle and the Angels and also the Braves they were partnered with FanDuel, and their regional sports networks have since collapsed. Seattle and the Angels are actually giving their rights to the MLB. The Braves are trying not to. Now, the reason the Braves are trying not to is because 23 out of 30 teams need to be willing to give up control for the MLB to take away their regional sports broadcasts. the only teams that are currently have regional sports broadcast are the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Blue Jays. Now notice that is 6 teams, so we are missing one, which is why the Braves are scrambling right now to get that 7th broadcast. So to make a long story short, this lockout, which originally we thought would just be owners versus players fighting over a salary cap, is now going to be that on top of owners versus owners fighting over regional sports networks who are also fighting now with players. So the 2027 season, now if there was a 50% chance that there was going to be a lockout, it's probably now at 95.
Yeah, this has been brewing for a while. Thank you for that insight, Connor. This is some scary times for MLB fans.
I know. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching the Fast Break. I'm all done here, but don't go anywhere. We have extra innings coming at you after the break.
I'm scared of Joe with a bat. Okay.
Okay. Let me show you because your team is a Philly. You don't know how to score, right?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Just like that.
That's actually let me show you the Bronx Bomber way of doing it. Ready? Ready? I swear to God. Oh my
Everyone.
God. All right, put the bat down. All right, this number's like.
Sorry, You're right.
Sorry. Yeah.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris.
That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. Oh, you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to.
If only we had someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my bed?
On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises.
And tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP 10.
Welcome back to Stick to Sports, boys. It's time for what we've all been waiting for, extra innings. At this point, we might have to name the Picks Championship the Chemnitzer Crown, boys. We might.
No,
because after 3 seasons, I have gone back to back to back, a little asterisk on last semester because, Connor, you did manage to tie me
Why is
for
my
first.
name last?
Rest assured.
Well, we're all tied for second. Why is my name last?
Rest assured. We're going to dive into a new season of picks, so let's dive in.
All right, boys. We previewed the Olympic men's hockey medal round earlier in the show. So without further ado, Connor, who do you see winning between the United States and Slovakia?
Well, Sammy, Canada's going to have to get ready to learn Freebird because I think it's going to be an absolute doozy. I got America 4-1.
Yep.
I got America. I'm riding the hype train. And who would I be if I went against my country? Give me USA.
I know. I said USA too. I said USA 6-2. I think it's going to be a blowout.
Blowout. Absolutely love it.
And Mike has USA 3-1 as well. He is not here, but he made sure to send us a little spoiler for his picks. Little future, but it's okay. All right, staying on the ice, the next game up is Canada versus Finland, and this one is shaping up to be a good one. Canada had a scare last game, and Finland came all the way back to win in overtime against Switzerland. So, Alex, who do you have coming out on top?
I got Canada coming out on top. I think it's going to be a very close game, especially since Crosby is a question mark, but I think the Canadians got enough depth to get it done.
I agree. I think the second best North American country is going to win this game.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be sipping on Canadian tears, but I don't think it will be tomorrow. I have Canada 3, Finland 1.
Perfect. Completely fair. Good picks, boys. All right. For our last pick, we're going to transition from the ice to the hardwood as this Saturday the Rockets travel to New York in the Garden to take on the Knicks. Sammy, who do you see coming out on top?
Give me the Knicks and Grand Theft Alvarado, baby.
And Jeremy Sohan.
Yes.
I've got the Knicks. I'm sorry, Kevin. That is going to affect your locker room. It might be as well be Jover for the Houston Rockets regular season and their postseason hopes. I've got the Knicks.
You know what, boys? This would be a boring show if we all just went with the same picks, and that's why we love it. And despite being a Knicks fan, I'm going to go with the Rockets. I think the Rockets are still talented enough. They got a decent away record, and I think freshly healed out of the break, I think they got a shot. So tie up the season series at 1 apiece. Give me the Rockets.
Perfect.
But that's all the time we have on this episode of Stick to Sports. Be sure to tune in 2 weeks from right here on WTOP 10. Thank you for watching. Good night, y'all.
Pumpkin! Oh, my bad.
Sorry.